Hi, so today we're going to talk about yet another reason why it's super important to date yourself. It's called practice dating. That's what I call it, at least. Because when you practice date, you need to know how you're going to be on a date. Are you going to be fussy? Are you going to get along with people? Are you going to go with the flow? What are you going to do? For instance, so this weekend I celebrated my 65th birthday. 65. Some people say don't even pay attention to the age, but it's kind of a milestone birthday in our culture. So the last 2 years I've had a birthday party for myself. Yep, I've thrown a birthday party for myself the last 2 years to celebrate not only my birthday, but all the people that are making me every year. The people that contribute to my growth and my development and my learning. And that's not always fun, but they're in my life. And that's why I wanted to celebrate with them and celebrate them and celebrate me at the same time. And let me tell you, there is nothing better than having 50 people in your home singing happy birthday to you on your birthday. It reverberates through the walls and just hangs in the ethers for days. It's beautiful. First year I only had about 12 people. You can do it with as small as 2 or 1. This year, there were a lot of things going on, and it just didn't work out to have a party. I mean, I got as far as making, 10 pounds of chicken wings and 8 pounds of meatballs, which is approximately 96 meatballs for the event, but never really got around to invitations. And I wanted to invite twice as many people this year, and I didn't want to leave anybody out, and I didn't know how to fit everybody in my house. So anyway, I could go on and on and on about excuses. That's the thing about excuses. Oh man, it's a never-ending list, right? So this year instead, I took myself down a little walk. This year, I took a walk down memory lane. I was thinking about the content on this channel, and I want to do a video on dating older men because I did that a lot in my 20s, my early 20s. But they had so much to offer to a gal who was fresh and new to Colorado, where they had lived their whole life, and by this time they were 40. Yes, I was 20 and they were in the late 30s, 40s, early 40s. So one of the guys, his name was Crazy Eddie, and he had this gorgeous, shoulder-length, thick, wavy salt and pepper hair, and these bright, brilliantly blue eyes, and a smile that just went on forever. And a sense of humor and a little bit of mischief to go along with that smile. So some of the things he taught me were always have dessert for breakfast and always eat it before your breakfast arrives. So he was big on having a piece of apple pie a la mode before his breakfast. Interesting, but to this day, dessert for breakfast is a pretty special treat for me. Not all the time, but when I do, it's pretty special. Try it. Another thing he taught me was about Navajo Lake. I'm going to move over because I'll put a video here. I went down there and looked at the lake. Now, I think you can pick it out in this clip. I'm probably going to have it circled. And there is probably about a 20-foot motorboat. You can hear it in the video, but you can't actually see it. Okay, there was 2 boats out there, and they were both about that same size that day. So that gives you an idea of how big that lake is. Well, Crazy Eddie said, "Have you ever been to Navajo Lake?" And I was, 21, just off the boat, basically, as to use a to use a... So I said, nope, never been to Navajo Lake. Oh, well, let's go down there. And of course he had to go one way down and another scenic way back. It was a full, long day. It was spectacular. At the time when I moved to Durango, Durango was a very walkable city, a very rideable city. It's not that way anymore, but I didn't have a car. I had a bike, and I walked or biked everywhere I went. And so it was great because Eddie worked on cars, and he had an assortment of them. Oh, I think we had a convertible that day. We took the convertible down to the lake, and the lake was huge. I had never seen a high desert lake. It's actually a reservoir. There was a marina, not near as big as what this one is now. That was 45 years ago, almost 45 years ago. And he rented a not a motorboat, a rowboat with a little motor, a little outboard motor on it, not very big at all. Not for that lake. And I had no idea why that was a problem. Even though I had been on boats in the ocean for many, many, many years that were way too small to be as far out as they were. So I already had a little bit of fear about that. So it was a beautiful day. We went cruising out in the lake, and as you can probably see it, but there's lots of canyons. It kind of fingers out, and we were headed out one of those canyons, and all of a sudden this storm cloud came out of nowhere. One of the things I love so much about where I live is the sky and the way the clouds move and the way the storms come in and leave, and it's just spectacular all the time, the colors. So a storm came in. I didn't know at the time how quickly storms could come in, and this storm cloud was massive and black, and pretty soon it was swirling wind around us, and the boat is rocking, and there's Crazy Eddie hanging on to the outboard motor and just grinning away from ear to ear. Isn't this fun? It's like, yeah, it's fun, it's fun. I was freezing. I didn't have enough clothes. We could have gotten hypothermia out there very easily. And he kept looking up at the sky, and so did I, because any time there was going to be a lightning bolt, and us on the water was not a good place to be. And there was no way we were going to make this a quicker trip no matter what we did. That motor was doing all he could to push up against those waves that were being blown by the wind in our direction. Whoosh, whoosh. And the boat is tossing and tipping and turning, and the more it tosses and turns, the more he laughs. And now that I'm older, I realize that he was probably as terrified as me, and his laugh was just the expression of that. But I didn't know that as a young woman. I just wanted the thrill of being out with this man. And I was thinking, just like Erica Kane taught me to think, he's going to rescue me no matter what. He was in a leather biker jacket with leather biker shoes on. He was going straight to the bottom. And I think I had shorts on and just a light jacket. So I had somewhat of a chance, but anyway. We made it back in, obviously. It was a very exciting day. It was a beautiful day because the drive back was just equally as spectacular as the drive down. It's a totally different kind of environment than anything you see in the East or other parts of the country, and it's not for everybody, but the variety here suits my soul. So I went down there this weekend, and I took these videos and walked around and reminisced about another Bayfield lake just up the road. And then I was reminiscing of one of my favorite lakes, Little Mollis Lake. These are 3 options for me to take myself on a date. I know I love these places. I know they're great to explore. And every time I go up there, I learn something different or find a new place or discover something else that I didn't know about the area. So I have a place to take somebody on a date because I'm dating myself and I find out what I enjoy. Then I can share those things with him, and if he enjoys them, we have a match. If he doesn't enjoy them, shows no interest in them, doesn't care, we don't have a match. It's important to date yourself. Okay, so another thing I did this weekend to celebrate my birthday, which I do every year since I've been here, is go to the Heritage Festival pie auction. It is a pie auction they've had for many, 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 many years. I don't know if you have pie auctions in your area or not, but we have a real live auctioneer who auctions off all these homemade pies that people bring in. I made an apple pie and a French chocolate silk pie to donate this year. My pies brought in almost $300. And then it was fun to have my grandchildren there with me to see.
Bury me in a box in a cemetery. Out in the garden it'd be much better, and I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes. What'll life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only 2 things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
We call it the Jim Fromm Memorial Award. I know a lot of people here know who Jim Fromm was. He was born and raised in this community and spent really his whole life here. And I had the pleasure of saying he was probably one of the best friends I ever had. Popular exhibit down at the museum is our country schoolhouse. If you bet, and that was her idea, and she's got countless hours in it.
Coconut cream. Hey, what do you think about this one? I've seen those before. This came from the Dedeman household. Homemade cinnamon rolls. Help yourself. How many dollars? $20? And 20, where do you go? 20, bid 20, and a 5. 25 and 30. And 30, where do you go? 30, where do you go? 30, 30, bid 30, your turn again. And 30, where do you go? 30. And 30, where do you go? 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 Coconut pineapple pie. Here we go. How many dollars on it? What do you say? A $20 bill. 20, not 5. And 20. Palisade peach and blueberries. I see a few corners of the mouth going like this.
I know. They're salivating.
Here we go. Peach and blueberry.
Here we go.
$20 bill. 20, where do you go? 20, bid 20, where do you go? 20. And 20, where do you go? 20.
It was great to celebrate another year of history in Bayfield with people that really value the history of this community and are a big part of it. One of the things I love about the pie auction is that it is a who's who of Bayfield. Families that have been ranching in this community for generations all come and attend this event. And they bring their homemade pies and they bid on their neighbors' homemade pies to keep the heritage community alive and well. So I love going to that auction. It's just Colorado rural mountain town fun. And it's kind of a marker for my birthday weekend. So for my birthday this year, my friends weren't around. My family wasn't around. Other things were going on. And I didn't miss a beat because I know how to date myself. When you know how to date yourself, it's one of the best ways that you can love and care for yourself. So just practice it a little bit. Try taking yourself out one place a week would be great. But start with one time a month. Go somewhere that you've driven by a million times and said, you know what, I've never been in there and I wonder what's in there. I don't care what it is. Go in. Have an experience. Take yourself on a new and exciting date. Remember, women don't like routine, right? And women, I'm talking to you and the men. I have more men in my audience than women, so I tend to favor them. It's really refreshing and exhilarating for women for me, when I meet a man that says, hey, let's go in here, and it looks like some off-the-road place. That's what I loved about these old men. These men knew the coolest places to go that were just out in the middle of nowhere, or some random museum or tourist attraction. It didn't matter. It was all kinds of places. But that's what you get out of dating yourself. So get out there. Go take yourself on a date so you're ready when you have someone else to date too. Thanks for joining me. I so appreciate it. Leave a comment. Tell me what your challenges are getting out. Do you date? Do you date yourself? Where do you go? Where would you like to go on a date? Because that's another thing. With all of us in different conditions and lifestyles and budgets, we got to be really creative about what we're doing with each other. Okay, that's enough. I'll ramble. Talk to you later. Bye.